start for the Braves. He's making his 14th start tonight. He's not having the kind of year that you would expect, but he's going to just try to eat up innings. That's basically his thing. It seems that he's going to run into trouble when he's just trying to get to that third time through the order. The ball kind of gets up, and in the hitter's park, he's been giving up a lot of home runs. 15 home runs allowed and 77 in the third. You know, as a knuckleballer, that's what you're going to see primarily. You see it almost 80% of the time. He does have a fastball that he can run up there, but as you can see, the opponent batting average being 400 off of it, it's something that he's just going to throw for show, but he can get it up there about 84 miles an hour. But the knuckleball is the pitch, and we'll see how Ramon de Jesus' zone is tonight. The defense behind R.A. Dickey tonight is starting the outfield. Left, it'll be Kemp, Ciarte, Markakis in right, and then in the infield on the left side is Camargo, and then Swanson on the right side, Phillips and Adams, and Flowers will be doing the catching.
So R.A. Dickey about ready to make his 14th start. Back-to-back 4-game series for the Giants. Let's take a look at our smart play, and it's brought to you by your California Ford dealers. May 28th against the Braves, Johnny Cueto, I think Javi mentioned it in the open, 6 innings, 6 hits. He had 1 earned run. He only walked 1, and he struck out 8. And in that start, Johnny Cueto threw 106 pitches. And you can see he had a lot going, including that changeup against left-handers. So once they stop the music, we're going to have baseball. And I'm assuming that it is going to stop. All right, here we go.
It's about the entertainment here.
It's like golf now. It has to be quiet in order to play. So here's Span. And here's the pitch. And Denard Span takes a call strike. So we get underway at 8:19.
Temperature 73 degrees. Official delay for weather 44 minutes.
And the next pitch to Span is another call strike. 44-minute delay. We don't know much about Ramon de Jesus. He is the home plate umpire. We do know that he's got a pretty animated strike call. And this is down the left field line, and it's a fair ball. So things have already changed since the team left Denver.
It's a nice start right there.
Span just kind of hung in there and lifted it down the left field line.
You look at the 0-2 pitch right here. He's trying to throw the knuckle, trying to bury it. Gets it up. When any hitter will tell you they want to see that knuckleball up. Gets it, stays with it, and finds a little luck down the left field line and finds himself in a scoring position now for the Giants.
So here's Nunez. Nunez got dinged up with a hamstring in Denver. Back in the lineup here on a Monday night. In at third is Camargo, and there's a foul out of play. Three for 9 lifetime R.A. Dickey in his matchup with Eduardo Nunez. Span with his lead. Down the right field line. Foul. Right idea for Nunez. Get him in, get him over.
And again, trying to get that knuckleball up. It's a little bit easier for these guys to handle when it's going to be sitting around thigh high, belt high. If it's got some dive to it, that's when R.A. Dickey's locked in.
In tight. As you look around the ballpark, from things that benefit us is how big are the balls and strikes numbers. And a bouncing ball up the middle, and Swanson is not going to be able to throw him out. Giants have runners at the corners. Heads up, Eduardo.
Still down.
Think about Eduardo Nunez And look, you appreciate the hustle, you appreciate all of this, but don't get hurt.
Yeah, you look at him. He hustles out of the box every single time. He smells hit every time he hits the ball in the infield. Head first slide into first. I think the hammy again might have just grabbed just a piece.
I mean, right off the bat, he's going at 100 miles an hour, and I think what you'd be able to let guys do is maybe just kind of back off a little bit just to see how it's going, and then as the game moves along, you know, you can extend it out. But right off the bat, this is what happened on Thursday in Denver, and he kind of pulled it right at the end. So
he smells hit. There's no doubt that he likes to get down the line. Gresh is talking to him now. Dave Greshner out there, the head athletic trainer for the Giants. And this is one of the things that actually I got to give Sean Estes some credit about. When you talk about rain delays, you just don't want anybody to get hurt, and that is part of it. When you do, guys are just creatures of habit, get loose, have the routines, and now you're asking them to sit and wait and wait and wait. 45 minutes later, now you're back into a ball game. You try to hurry up on your process. Sometimes when you're coming off an injury, it's a problem.
Was this an observation by Estes because he was one of the guys that would not stretch before he went back out there?
That's what he told me. Yeah, he said he just was not a big fan of stretching in general.
Left-handers.
Love him.
So Nunez now with a big smile on his face, feeling better. And here's Crawford. So Crawford with runners at the corners and nobody out. A double, an infield hit. Crawford, Posey, and Pence. And Crawford takes wide. I was talking about the balls and strikes here. This is the best for broadcasters that you're going to find. The scoreboard right in front of us in center field, and huge balls and strikes. There they are right there on the right. Big fan. Lob to first. Nunez back. And of course the board here is the best board in all of baseball. I guess it should be, right, if it's brand new.
It looks nice. They didn't skimp on the left side, left center. They got a nice big board there too.
Crawford swing and a miss. Yeah, most people would be happy with that one.
And that one's got a little more detail. It's got the balls and strikes and pitch count, velocities, and the out-of-town scoreboard.
1 ball and 1 strike. Exit velocity, or I guess we haven't found that out yet.
Haven't found it yet. Although I do see that the Powerball's at $64 million, and Mega Millions is 123. If you're if you're into gambling,
I feel so much better now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Span at third. Nunez at first. And Crawford hits a high pop-up into shallow left field. It'll be Swanson who's going to make the catch. All right, let's check out our Nissan keys to the game. The Cueto-Kemp matchup. Kemp has got some ownage on Cueto. He's 12 for 34, 2 doubles and 3 home runs. So we'll keep an eye on that. And get Mark Melancon back in a safe situation. After yesterday, the faster he gets back out there, the better it is for everybody, including not just the manager, but including Melancon.
I would definitely agree with that.
You can't have to sit on that one for very long. Here's Buster Posey. Both Crawford and Posey have not fared well against Dickey. Buster's 2 for 13 lifetime. Crawford now 1 for 13. Hunter Pence on deck, so Buster playing close to home. And he takes a call strike on the outside corner.
One of the rare fastballs you're going to get from R.A. Dickey. And the scout report on Ramon DeJesus, the home plate umpire, is that it's traditionally a small zone. But so far he's been calling those fastballs off the plate just a tad. Likes to call the higher pitch to the lefties as opposed to the righties.
Nightmare for Flowers with a guy on third having to catch a knuckleballer. Not much you can do. Hard to hit, hard to catch. Out of play. The high humidity, I'm assuming, is probably better for Dickey.
Definitely, I would think. You know, that was one of the things that probably factored into him signing here and them wanting him here, is because it's a pitch that's going to play at all times, and in particular when it's hot and sweaty out.
So Buster now have to protect, maybe shorten up a little bit. Got him. So the history of Crawford and Posey plays out just the way the numbers said it would.
Yeah, there's a 1-2. Got the knuckleball up. I know Buster wish he had that one back. 1-2 pitch. R.A. Dickey's not trying to throw it right there. Just got lucky. Buster knows he missed it.
So here's Pence. Hunter Pence hitting .251. Hit his 4th home run of the season as a pinch hitter in the game yesterday. And he wraps it to the backstop, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Hunter's numbers: 4 for 23, double and a home run against Dickey. Just not going to see great numbers from especially good hitters against the knuckleball. There's a pitch wide. Joe Panik to follow.
Flowers is making it look pretty easy back there. That ball is dancing. As Flan would say, this is where you're looking for the RTI, the run thrown in. Man, the pressure's on the catcher right now, the man on third.
And this is going to get Dickey out of the inning, as Swanson's going to put it away. So the Giants squander a 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Cueto's coming out. Pair. Here we go to the bottom of the 1st inning, and let's take a look at the Braves lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Inciarte and then Brandon Phillips. You saw the 2 walk-offs Saturday and Sunday for Phillips. Markakis, Kemp, and then the former Cardinal Matt Adams. It'll be Tyler Flowers. Flowers will hit in the 6th spot. Then it's Swanson, Camargo, and the pitcher R.A. Dickey. He'll hit in the 9th spot.
Taking the mound for the San Francisco Giants tonight is Johnny Cueto. He's out there. He's going to make his 15th start of the year. He's 5-6 with a 4.57. And what you can see there, again, what we were mentioning with R.A. Dickey, the 16 home runs allowed in 86 and 2/3 innings. He is punching out 86 in those innings. He's getting the strikeouts. It's just the long ball that's been hurting him, and it's really been the changeup that's kind of cost him a few times. There's a fastball. You're going to see a lot of 4-seam, 2-seam fastballs, low 90s for both of those pitches. You're also going to see the cutter, about 87, 88, slider 85, 86, but he's really just trying to set up that changeup, so it's going to be 83 to 85.
Inciarte hitting at .299. And the first pitch is rolled foul. Ciarte, 6 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Good little player that the Braves picked up from the Arizona Diamondbacks. With Phillips to follow. And this is rolled to Belt. So Belt will take it right by the bag, and that's how the bottom of the first gets started.
Well, let's take a look at the defense behind Johnny Cueto tonight. Starting in the outfield from left to right, you're going to have Hernandez, Span, and Pence. On the infield, left side of the infield, you got Nunez and Crawford. On the right side, you got Panic and Belt, and Buster Posey will be doing the catching.
And here's Phillips. All from Ciarte through Flowers. All these Braves have averages that are over 300 or close to 300. So a couple of guys that played together for a long time with the Reds are going at it as Cueto starts out Phillips with a called strike. 1 for 5 lifetime, these two. Only 5 at bats for Phillips against Cueto, and there's a high pop up down the right field line that'll drift into the seats. We're a little higher than most broadcast booths. We're not as high as Pittsburgh. We're not as high as Washington, but maybe the 3rd highest, as we are right in the middle. And the pitch is low, so it takes a little getting used to the pop-ups and fly balls.
We're basically staring at Brandon Phillips' picture on the Jumbotron, face to face.
Eye to eye.
Eye to eye.
And this is hit towards the hole. Crawford on the smooth backhand, 2 down. Infielders like it when it's rained a little bit because it keeps that dirt damp. And damp usually means few bad hops.
And Crawford makes it look easy regardless of the infield, but that's a nice play right there. Plays it to the backhand, just sets his feet. Good follow through, strike over to Belt. Plenty of time to get Brandon Phillips running down the line.
Here's Markakis, another quality hitter. Guy not much for power, but still knocks in 38, hitting 292. First pitch strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Outfield straight away. Foul back. They tell us the hot spot in this park is down the left field line and into right center. There's an area in right center, and I guess all the way to right because it's not very deep. That if you can pull the ball, and if you're a left-handed hitter, it's going to do you some good. Even if you're a right-handed hitter, you can go the other way. Tell us that the Chop House is a popular place for fans to catch home run balls. There it is right there.
In some interleague baseball, Marcus Stroman, the pitcher for the Blue Jays, went opposite field home run in that Chop House. And if anybody's seen Stroman, he's 4 foot nothing and unleashed.
Here's the 0-2, and it's flowing in. Oppo.
It was a heck of a blast, and shows you can carry a little bit here.
I think he was even surprised that it went out. And the 1-2, here it is. Ouch, that hit him solid.
One-two sinker in. Try to get the hip shot sinker. Try to get that front door. You see Buster setting up on the white and just pulled it. Just pulled it. He knows it too. Johnny knows it. He got a little rotation on that delivery. Got a little side to side.
I do believe that if it hits you with your feet off the ground, it's not quite as bad. That's the theory I'm going with.
Oh, I'll trust you on that.
I don't think he was.
There it is right there. Just above the shin guard. Calf.
Off the ground.
Off the ground. No pain, according to
actually lead the major leagues in getting hit. That's the 30th time. Here's Kemp. Kemp's having a terrific season. And as I mentioned in our keys to the game, 12 for 34 against Cueto with 3 big flies. And swinging a foul back. No balls and 1 strike. Markakis does not have a steal. This is not a team that runs a whole lot. It's wide to Kemp. Braves are 6 games under 500. They're still in second place, which lets you know what's going on in the National League East right now. Wide again, 2 balls and a strike. I think it's a pretty good guess to say that the Nationals are headed to postseason.
They're playing some great baseball. And to be fair, you know, the competition hasn't been there quite yet in that division, so they're taking full advantage of it.
Mets are the team that's probably most disappointed in how they're playing. Kemp pulls it foul. Look out.
But as we say that, the Braves went up to Washington and I think took 2 or 3 up there. Playing some good baseball. Scoring a lot of runs, too, during that series.
So Kemp chasing Ron Washington out of a comfortable spot. So 2-2. Close, 3-2. And now Markakis will be on the move. Matt Adams is on deck.
Belt signaling to Johnny that he's going to be playing behind. Trying to get as deep as he can right here to be ready for a ground ball.
And this is rolled right to Cueto. And Cueto will throw him out, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves will strand a runner. Giants stranded a pair. Panic will lead things off.
Fourth, you guessed it, it's Pixar Day at AT&T Park. Your special event ticket includes a ticket to watch the Giants take on the Mets, a Giants-themed Piston Cup inspired by the movie Cars 3. Reminder, to receive this item and access all the pregame event in Seals Plaza, you'll need to purchase this special event ticket. Visit sfgiants.com/special events.
Special events it is, and here's Joe Panic. No score. Sun Trust Park. And Panic, who's got a good swing going, takes a called strike. He's got his average up to 273. 4 home runs, 20 driven in. And he takes high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. One of the problems about facing a knuckleballer is how do you prepare for it? Fly somebody in to throw knuckleballs? Got him. Here's Belt.
Matt Cain's got a pretty good knuckleball. Maybe he was throwing a little BP in the cage today. Who knows?
Brian Wilson wanted to get her going this year, throwing knuckleballs. Fly him in.
Sure,
throw some BP.
There's that one right there. It just stays riding high. They're swinging like they're expecting a drop right now. They're just not doing it.
That's exactly right.
There's Matt Cain right there. He's fidgeting with the fingers. He's just practicing the knuckleball.
Strike to Belt. Belt 1 for 9 against Dickey, but the one hit, a home run. High drive to right. It is off the bricks. Belt better hurry. Here's the throw, and he's going to make it. And now they call him out. Yes or no? What did I miss?
Wow. He kept the tag on him. It looks like.
Well, Belt's not leaving.
Yeah, he's insisting that he's safe. He wears size 15, so I can imagine his foot's on the bag. He's into the base. He puts the tag on him. He says he slipped off the base, but that back toe.
Yeah, his other foot's on the base. They're going to look at this.
The toe and the knee, the back knee doesn't look like it gets off the base. I mean, Dansby Swanson's doing exactly what you want him to do, and that's to apply the tag and hold the tag.
So who made that call? That was Brian O'Nora?
Brian O'Nora, trying to make his presence felt.
Well, Belt and O'Nora now have looked like a fatherly son conversation going. But here's the play again. This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
I mean, I'm not sure what he's seeing right there.
All right.
It looks like the back knee is on the base and the toe of the back foot.
Now, I wonder what goes through the umpire's mind who made the call. If they're standing there going, geez, I hope. I hope they see it the way I saw it.
I think you're definitely thinking that, but if you're R.A. Dickey, you want the outs. Every pitcher wants outs, but you've also come out throwing great knuckleballs. You got a good feel for it, and you see him now trying to keep that feel as he's sitting there. I'm surprised it's taking as long as it is. That back knee hasn't moved off the base.
Yeah, it's attached to the base.
I mean,
Look, this is one where Belt looks like he's absolutely shocked that this is even going on.
he doesn't get animated about much, and he was quick to say, go ahead and check that. And Sean Dunston and Chad Chapp do a fine job in the replay booth for the Giants. And they haven't missed too many this year, and I got to imagine they're going to get a victory here.
Well, my problem is the longer it takes, the weirder it gets.
Yep.
And this one's taking a while, so they're obviously getting a lot of looks that maybe we don't get to see.
And this is probably the one thing Flowers doesn't want to be doing is catching this. He just let that one fly by all the way back to the backstop. I don't think he wants any more looks at the knuckleball than he has to have.
He's practicing now. I think one of the well, we're going to get the call here. They've called him out.
Wow.
I'm shocked by that.
Estimated time in the review, 2 minutes, 33 seconds.
If I'm Belt, I'm absolutely despondent over that. That's
8-6.
so anyway, 2 outs, and here's Hernandez. Marquis Hernandez is 4 for 10 with a home run against Dickey, and he takes a strike. Guess it's one of those where if you call him safe, you know, you look at it and you don't overturn it. If you call him out, you take a look at it, you don't overturn it. One ball and 1 strike.
I guess we got to find Exmo because I didn't see anything there.
I didn't either. 2 balls and a strike. Some weirdness already happening here in Atlanta. Thought we saw enough of that in Denver. 2-1 pitch to Marquis Hernandez. 2-2.
I looked a little up. It's a very animated strike call by De Jesus. Let's look at that pitch. That's up and out of the zone. I mean, oof.
Well, now we're even. It's 3-2.
Dickey wants the appeal. Finally gets it. Paul Lemmel saying no. That's enough. Can't give you 2 this inning.
No. Now we're wondering what is a strike. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that's poked foul. And we said it's hard to catch a knuckleballer. It's hard to hit one. For an umpire, it's probably hard to call balls and strikes as well. But they do get a little longer look at it than the hitter does.
Well, if you're the Giants, you got to be happy that the knuckleball seems to be staying up.
Yep. Pitch will be 33 pitches for Dickey. Probably the one guy that you shouldn't even look at the number of pitches. And the walk, so Cueto will hit.
And that's a great at bat because it does exactly what you want right now. You get Johnny up at the plate. You know, hopefully Johnny extends the inning, but if he doesn't, you're starting the next inning with Denard Span.
And who knows, Cueto might be the best knuckleball hitting hitter that we've ever seen.
We're about to find out.
And the first pitch, a fastball at 84 miles per hour. And that's a called strike, and it's 0-1. If Cueto were to hit one to right field for a hit, as shallow as Markakis is playing in right, he's going to have to hustle because he may get thrown out at first. And that's going to be out of play, and it's 0-2. We had, if you just joined us, a 44-minute rain delay. Braves start these games here in Atlanta about a half hour later than most teams start. Cueto, a high tapper. And that'll end the inning. For the Braves, it'll be Matt Adams to lead things off. 0-0.
on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by PenFed Credit Union. Do better with your money at PenFed. It's easy to apply and no military service required. Apply today at PenFed.org. By Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers. And by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. We pay you.
Here at SunTrust Park, it's 0-0 as Johnny Cueto comes out to face Adams, Flowers, and Swanson, with Cueto making the last out. It took him a little while to get out of the dugout and onto the field. The capacity here in this ballpark is 41,149. And if you look around the park, it really looks like it's going to seat about 29,000.
Yeah, it does. They went short on the decks. They're not very deep.
And
kind of like St. Louis.
Very close to the foul lines. The stands are very close. Waiting on now Johnny to tie his shoes. No score. Adams, Flowers, Swanson. And the first pitch to Adams is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. It's really odd to look at Matt Adams and all the weight that he's lost. It almost looks like it's maybe somebody else in his family.
It does. It's
fouls it back.
He's breathing new life here in Atlanta. It was a great move for them. Freddie Freeman going down with an injury, and they had signed James Loney, I think, for a minute, and then they went ahead and made the trade for Adams, and he hasn't disappointed. He's put up some nice numbers.
In all the playoff years that the Giants ended up having to go after the Cardinals, this would be one of the guys that I'm sure you had to face a lot.
It was, and again, this is a shadow of his former self. He looks great.
The 2-1 is hit on the ground to Belt, and Belt will circle to the bag. And here's Flowers.
He made that look real easy. It was not an easy play, and it's kind of what you were talking about. Watered down infield a little bit. You're not going to get the crazy hop. It's going to keep the ball down, and Belt still looks like he's fuming about that double. Let's take a look at that changeup. Pulls it. Great pick right there by Bell. I mean, really made it look easy. Panic had the backup just in case, but
well, if he's ticked off, I'd like to see him play 9 innings of ticked off baseball.
I agree with you, and you know, he's still hot. Like I said, he's not a very emotional guy on the field, and he's pretty cool, calm, and collected. But that, I know he's still steaming about that one.
Well, I'd be steaming too. Flowers is hitting at 333. Flowers takes a strike. He's got 5 home runs. He's got 21 runs batted in. And we're looking at Flowers, big guy, but he's choking up a little bit, which I've not seen him do that before. Get on the ground to Crawford. Belt will put it away. Brandon to Brandon. Saw Anthony Rizzo the other day. I bet he was choking up 4 inches. And it just really looked odd. Of course, he's leading off now. And
it's the new thing. It's trending. It's trending.
And, he was facing a lefty. I don't remember which lefty it was, but. So here's Swanson. Swanson off to a slow start this year, and it's basically stayed that way for him. He's hitting .218. And the first pitch is down low. Dansby, Swanson, and a swing. Ain't gonna miss. Swanson last year hit over 300 in 38 games. 3 home runs, 17 driven in. And he shoots this one foul down the right field line and out of play. I think. Well, the Giants Insider Podcast is back on NBCSportsBayArea.com, and it's brought to you by Max Muscle. Log on each week as insider Alex Pavlovich is going to talk baseball. Alex Pavlovich, NBCSportsBayArea.com, also available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. Outside and low. Talking about Swanson, I think it's hard for young players to determine whether am I going to be a home run guy or not, meaning am I going to hit 15, and that's where Swanson is right now. He's got 6, but are you giving up average to hit 15? And he pokes at that to stay alive.
I think it's what they're still trying to figure out about this ballpark. How's it going to play? If you look at the numbers overall, the Braves starting pitchers haven't had as much success as the opposing pitchers when they come in here. I think you said they were under 500 at home here, and still trying to figure some things out. I mean, Ender Inciarte already has 6 himself.
That's right. And you know, it can be deceiving where you're really not a home run hitter, but yet you're going to get yours. And that runs inside to make it 3-2.
That's a good pitch by Johnny. He's showing good arm side command right now. Fastball's in to the right-handed hitters. He's keeping them honest, which is what you got to do when you're in these hitters' parks. You got to be able to keep these guys conscious of something in to get them out of the way.
Swanson got a breaking ball and he stays alive. It remains 3-2, no score. 44-minute rain delay. This game started at 8:19. And the payoff. And it's hit out into right center field. It's going to hang up for Hunter Pence, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, it'll be Span, Nunez, and Crawford. It remains 0-0.
To the ballpark. Ticket offer for the weekend Marlins series July 8th and 9th. Starting at only $99, you'll receive 4 game tickets and 4 free round-trip BART tickets to get you to and from the ballpark. AT&T Park is BARTable. Visit sfgiants.com/BART for tickets.
Here's Span. It's 0-0. Span to open up the game with a double. And he looks at a pitch down low. In at third is Camargo. Otherwise, everything straight up with Span, including the outfield. strike. Dickey has been up, and Javi mentioned it. I think it's actually surprised some of the Giants hitters. One and two. Nunez, Crawford on a humid night, but the temperature is very comfortable after the rain came through, and there's still rain in the area. Span gets jammed and he pops it off the backstop. You guys live here, you see this all the time, I'm sure. Rain coming through. I say you guys, sitting next to Javi is Ryan Vogelsong.
He's taking in the ball game tonight.
Yep.
The Braves just shifted over a little bit. You see Matt Kemp hugging the line now. Inciarte pinching the gap a little bit.
And that's low and away. It's 2-2. So try as hard as you may. One may have tried to get away from the other, but you couldn't do it. So who moved here first?
Can't be done. I bought the property here first, but he actually moved in before I did.
Span out swinging. So this is where we're located. There's Vogie. Looks pretty good.
It's a pretty good seat.
Yeah. So you bring him along in the same car?
Oh yeah, we carpool, no doubt. I mean, you got to do it, right? You got to save money where you can.
Oh, here's Nunez. Yeah, look at that. Look at all these things about Vogie. Can I see that again?
That was real quick. There you go. Drink that in right there.
All-star Willie Mack, two-time World Series champion.
Solid beard.
Yeah, retired,
stress-free.
And a little flare out to left that Swanson's going to track down. Can you truly be stress-free? I guess you can, right?
I mean, are you asking me? Or
I mean, baseball-wise, you can be stress-free.
Yeah.
If you're married, no.
You're right. Right.
Here's Crawford. This is from John Miller's Instagram.
I mean, he nailed the hashtags. Look at all this stuff.
Did, yeah. John is, I mean, he is Mr. Hashtag.
Wow, that's a better scoop than Baggerly could get you, or Pavlovich.
Here's Crawford, and Crawford takes high. Crawford had an opportunity in the first and third. Nobody out, and he popped out to Swanson. Swinging a foul into the glove of Flowers, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Some guys, it can be a nightmare facing knuckleballers.
That's definitely when Crawford wants back. He was kind of took that big deep breath afterwards.
And that time he waited a little longer, and he fouls it back. It's 1-2. Trying to get on for Buster Posey. We're in the top of the third. And a quick pitch, and he got him. And that'll end the inning. It'll be Camargo, Dickey, and Inciarte coming up. happened on this date in 1990. Donnie Robinson became the first pitcher to hit a pinch hit home run since 1971. Robinson pinch hit for Ed Vosberg in the bottom of the 5th and hit the home run off of Bruce Hurst and the Padres. Robinson is a career pinch hitter, 3 for 24. That 1 home run, 2 walks, and 2 RBIs. He was a good hitter.
Numbers don't tell that story.
No, they don't. So, here's Johan Camargo. And he lines this one, and it's off of Belt's glove and into right field. So on the first pitch, Camargo's aboard, and that's the first hit in this game for the Atlanta Braves. And the hitter now will be Dickey.
Just first pitch slider, turns on it, and just kind of ate up Belt. Belt again, frustrated, he missed it. It's a hot shot, not easy play. But you grow so accustomed to seeing him make that play. He's got real good hands over there, first base. But this guy can run a little bit.
So Cueto will have to keep an eye on him as Dickey, who's 4 for 28. And he's got 3 sacrifice bunts, and they're going to make the appeal. And Paul Emmel said, yeah, he did bunt at it. It's no balls and 1 strike. So top of the order, Inciarte to follow. And the pitch, and it's lined at Panic. Tell you what, Dickey had the right idea, but Panic did a good job of not giving up a lot of that position at second base. John Miller's here. Dave Fleming is on assignment. I'll head over to KNBR side for innings 4, 5, and 6. And here's Inciarte. Rolled out to Belt in the first inning. And here a big swing. Ain't gonna miss. No balls and 1 strike. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Giants. No runs, a hit by Camargo. He's at first. Braves have not committed an error as Inciarte waits on this 0-1 pitch, and he wraps this one into right center field, a base hit. Span's going to cut it off. They're going to wave in Camargo. Crawford's got a shot. Here's the throw home, and Buster Posey cannot hang on. It's 1-0. So it'll be a double for Inciarte. A gamble by Ron Washington, and in the end, it pays off.
Denard did a nice job cutting that ball off. You look at the sequence right here. He just misfires on the fastball. Pulls it into the gap, but Denard does a nice job cutting it off, getting it to the strong arm, Brandon Crawford. Crawford set his feet through. Got the long hop to Buster, just went up the line. Buster was not able to hold on to it. Gave him the long hop. Buster tried to go with the swipe tag. Great slide there, too. It was going to be a tough play, and like you said, Ron Washington gambled, but it paid off.
Sometimes you're going to live and die with that catcher's mitt. It's not the easiest mitt to try to one-hand something with, but in that particular play, that's how you had to go about doing it. Phillips fouls it back. He had a rip. So 2 hits in the inning, the first 2 hits in the game for the Braves. Markakis to follow. Cueto looks into Posey. And a little pop-up. This could be trouble, and it's foul. Panic, Belt, Pence all chasing, and it lands about 5 feet foul. So Phillips will go back. It's 0-2.
I don't know if he can really get a shot at this. There's not much foul territory at this ballpark.
No.
I mean, the fans are on top of you.
And evident of that, if you notice, it's the only time I've ever seen this. Their screens go past the dugouts.
You're right.
Obviously protecting those people behind the dugouts. Those bounces at foul.
It's a great pitch right there, Johnny 0-2. Trying to tie him up inside, get the ball, run it in. If you're going to miss in. Got to keep Phillips honest in there.
Here you see the screen on the right. Here's the pitch.
There's the pitch. Miss in.
So Inciarte's RBI, as he stands on second, he now has 30 runs batted in. And Phillips lines this one at Nunez, 2 outs. So Phillips a good at bat, but he hits it right at Nunez, and here's Markakis. Markakis was hit by a pitch on the right ankle or right foot in the first inning. Cueto wants a new baseball. He'll throw that one out. Chance to play the outfield straight away against Markakis. Crawford a step or two to pull. And the first pitch is a fastball high. Remember, this guy's not a power hitter, but he is a good hitter. Cueto does have first base open. However, Matt Kemp is on deck, and he's got some ownage on Cueto. So we'll see what he does here. 1 ball and no strikes. And this is lifted into center field. Span's coming in, and that'll end the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left. John will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 1-0 Atlanta.
Happy hour tonight after Giants post-game live tonight after post-game live on NBC Sports Bay Area. And here we are at the top of the 4th with the Braves just taking the lead now 1-0. Buster Posey at the plate.
And Buster, I'm John Miller. Now Dwayne Kuiper having moved to the radio side. Buster takes ball 1 too high. Giants had their best chance to score right away in the first inning. They had first and third, nobody out. also keep in mind when they got Span at third, Nunez at first, Crawford came up. Crawford is now 1 for 14 lifetime against Dickey. Then Buster came up. Buster's now 2 for 14. And then Hunter Pence came up, now 4 for 24. So none of them have done well against Dickey. And that is a called strike on the inside. Buster, I was saying that Buster didn't really think so.
Yeah, you can hear it on the microphone. And the scouting report on DeJesus was that he has a tight zone. This pitch is in, starts in, stays in, gets the call. I know it's hard to call balls and strikes with a knuckleballer, but I'm going to trust the guy that's won a batting title and is leading the league in hitting currently.
And that is high and foul and out of play. How many knuckleballers have you been around over the years?
There's been a few. The longest tenured one I had was Tim Wakefield in Boston, but there was about 3 other guys in that organization at the time. There was Charlie Zink, a guy that was in AAA, had a little cup of coffee in the big leagues.
Buster into shallow right. Markakis out number 1. So Buster is 0 for 2, 1 out. Giants trailing 1-0. I remember Tim Wakefield, but he would throw generally a lot slower knuckleball than what we're seeing from R.A. Dickey. Occasionally he'd speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, very occasionally. Yeah, he definitely tried to go slow and slower on you.
Every 6 years or so.
Contract year, he'd hump up. 75.
Before that, Charlie Huff was around a long time, knuckleballer. Tom Candiotti. Pence going down the line is Matt Adams. Foul ground now. And that's all for Hunter Pence. So 2 down. But those guys, they would throw a knuckleball. Sometimes it'd be around 60 miles an hour. And just take forever to get up there and dance and dart and whatnot. And I remember Phil Niekro years ago watching him pitch. And he'd throw the real slow knuckleball. And when he was about the same age as Dickey, 42 years old, he said, well, I feel like I get a little more movement when I throw it harder. But I can only do it maybe at 1 out of every 10 pitches or so at this stage. But he's doing it over and over again.
Well, you're right, John. He does. He's throwing it up there with 75. But R.A. Dickey, when he's feeling pretty good, he threw it about 2 innings ago. He threw in about 65. He'll mix it in every once in a while. They like to call it the ephus.
Joe Panic. So the count is now 0-2 to Joe Panic, who struck out his first time. 2 down, nobody on. The Giants trailing 1-0 here in the 4th inning. Panic's been hot lately. That one ran right into the hands, almost like a cutting action on 0-2. Now he'll throw a fastball.
Yeah, he just threw an 87 to Buster. So he does have a little. He has a little juice in the tank.
And will he? Is it just a knuckleball and a fastball, or will he do some other things?
Pretty much. You're going to see 85% knuckleballs. The rest of it, he throws a little sinker, mid-80s, just to keep you off balance. And like I said, he'll mix in that kind of a changeup, I guess, if you're going to call it that ephus pitch. But he's only shown it once tonight.
2 down, nobody on. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joe Panic. The quick pitch. There is Inciarte out in center field. Inning over. Phil Niekro, of course, was a longtime member of the Braves, and there's a statue of him outside this ballpark now, the Hall of Famer Phil Niekro.
By the authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Giants in their first ball game in SunTrust Park here in Cobb County, Georgia. Do we know if we're in a town? They keep saying it. Well, we're going to build a ballpark out in Cobb County.
Yeah.
Is it like a town in Cobb County, or is it just Cobb County?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. We're going to count this as Atlanta. Oh, but as Marietta is really where we're at.
Oh, Marietta. Okay. Here in Marietta, and the pitch to Matt Kemp, and Johnny Cueto gave him a little quick pitch action there. I mean, you were a guy who, long before Cueto was ever around, you were a guy who would vary your deliveries and give him a different look, pitch after pitch.
You're right. He was just in diapers when I was doing that stuff.
So many years ago. Back to the screen, and it's 0-2.
Well, for me, it was at a necessity because you have to change it up when you don't throw very hard. So you have to change it up, and you see R.A. Dickey doing it a couple times, a couple quick pitches with the knuckleball. It's all about timing, and upsetting that timing is how you pitch and try to find success with it, and Johnny's done that.
And that is all for Matt Kemp, who he had a comebacker his first time, and this time not able to do even that. So a very dangerous hitter dispatched.
Yeah, he tried to hip shot the slider, started it in, took it down. You see the no legs in that swing by Matt Kemp, and that was a great pitch by Johnny. And quick first out.
So 1 out. Here's Matt Adams. 1-0. The Braves lead the Giants. Last of the 4th inning. First of a 4-game series. And that's a called strike. So people on the Instagram asking, why do they build a ballpark that's so big when they weren't even able to fill up the old ballpark, even in the postseason all the time? That ball is hit well. Deep right field, on its way, and gone. Into the chop house. 2-0 Atlanta. The 11th home run for Matt Adams. And in St. Louis, every time he hits one, Cardinal fans will say, how come he's not still with us?
You're right. He goes an 0-1 changeup, just pulls it back over the middle of the zone. Johnny's not happy with it. That's a pitch that most of the opponents swing through 50% of the time, but when they do hit it, it seems to be going out of the park. And like we touched on earlier, he's been allowing the long ball a lot more often this year.
Fastball at the knees for a strike to Tyler Flowers now. So 2-0 Atlanta. Yeah, that's the 7th home run on a changeup. The most on any changeup of any pitcher. And the slugging percentage was way over 1,000 against him.
It is. It's a swing and miss pitch for him, and it has been. It continues to be. It's just the damage when they're actually making contact with it, which is something I haven't seen before. And that's 17 home runs allowed already for him this season. It took him all last season to reach that number.
Tyler Flowers grounded out to short his first time, and the count is 1-2. But he has the highest swing and a miss percentage on a changeup of any pitcher in the majors.
Yeah.
But also the most home runs on the changeup of any pitcher.
That's why we love this game. It's so unpredictable.
2-2. Cueto looks a little frustrated after that one. Cueto, 4.57 earned run average coming in, and a strong game against Atlanta back on May 28th at AT&T Park. Only 1 run allowed in that game. That is all for Flowers. Good fastball up and away for the strikeout. His first 2 strikeouts of the game in this inning on either side of that home run by Adams.
He reached back right there, shorter leg kick, kind of paused a little bit, carried it up and away, and once again a swing through for an out. The velocity's there tonight. He's throwing the ball 92, 94 pretty much every time in the fastball. He's been spotting it up pretty well. He's thrown 38 strikes to 14 balls. You know, solar homers don't beat you, but when you're having trouble scoring runs, you're looking for some offense if you're at the Giants.
Ball one off the inside to Swanson. I think that was the spot where Matt Adams' home run landed out by the chop house out there. There they are. Brandon Crawford and Swanson were just kind of trotting up the first base line. Braves get a run, though. They lead 2-0 now. Brandon Bell coming up here in Marietta.
July 9th as the Giants take on the Marlins, presented by See's Candies. Your brunch ticket includes a lower box ticket, an all-inclusive brunch in Triples Alley, access to watch pregame warm-ups from the warning track, and receive a box of See's Candies assorted Little Pops. Upcoming dates include Sunday, September 3rd, and Sunday, October 1st. For tickets, visit sfgiants.com/brunch to see the upcoming brunch dates.
Brandon Belt. And a pop fly, shallow left, in a hurry, and Kemp with the dive. Matt Kemp used to be a Gold Glove center fielder with the Dodgers. Had a lot of physical problems, got older, doesn't move nearly as well now, but that's still a pretty nice play.
Flash in the leather, great play. Hydroplaned about another 5-10 yards with the wet outfield grass, but look at R.A. Dickey loving it. 42, you're not going to get that huge fist pump anymore, but you're going to take it. And
he's too old to have a big fist pump?
You got to take it easy there. But that's 8 in a row retired now.
Johnson not had a base runner since Gorkys Hernandez, who stands in now, drew a walk in the second. And a fastball. Ooh,
wow.
Took several inches off the outside.
That did not look very good.
One ball, one strike now. Yeah, I just looked at the pitch tracker on the app, and it showed it as
it was in the other batter's box.
6 or 7, 8 inches off the outside.
And like I said, here's the first pitch of this at bat. I mean, that's over the white. That's not even close.
It's almost like he was umpiring there for the script that Dickey's writing. He throws the fastball to sneak a strike. So well, that was a fastball, so that's where he sneaks the strike. Strike one, okay. Two down.
When it's a pitcher that's struggling too, R.A. Dickey's last start, he went 5 innings, gave up 8 earned. You know, he didn't walk anybody, but he gave up 3 home runs against the Nats. Yeah, you get that generous call off the plate. Now Gorky's is going to have to protect away and, you know, knuckleball down in the zone. That's when it's effective, and he executed. You got to give him credit there, but you're taking the bat out of Gorky's hands with that first pitch.
Johnny Cueto now. Shallow center. Phillips out, and Phillips just in front of Inciarte. That is a very quick inning. 10 in a row retired by Dickey. Cueto back to the mound, trailing 2-0.
Better than ever, watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
And that's the voice of Javier Lopez, Giants left-hander for many, many years, for 3 World Series, and also a World Series ring as a member of the Boston Red Sox in 07.
07. Yes, indeed. 10-year anniversary.
There is Johan Camargo, and he takes a called strike. Camargo got a base hit leading off to third and eventually scored the first run of the game. Cueto and the changeup 0-2.
Here's that changeup. The changeup, it's when he executes it like that, it starts a strike, dives out of the zone. Hitters have to commit early, and you get swings like that.
Sincere appreciation there for that.
Yeah,
changeup.
It's a beautiful pitch for him.
One ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers play at home tonight against the Mets, with Clayton Kershaw going against Zach Wheeler in that one. Oh, that one bounced in front of home plate. He races to first, and Posey throws him out. Now that changeup fooled him.
Yeah, it didn't look like Camargo was really into the changeups in that at bat. Swung at the first pitch his first time up. Got the base hit. That time he was able to work the count on him a little bit. And Johnny just toyed with him the way he can with a lot of hitters.
It's R.A. Dickey. And a soft liner to the second baseman his first time. And a strike called on the inside. Padres lead the Cubs 2-1. Last of the 5th at Wrigley Field. That is a foul. And Ron Washington, look at that, had not lost a step. You know, Ron Washington was the guy. Cal Ripken, the Iron Man, never missed a game for, what, 16 years? The all-time record?
That's correct.
And he did not miss an inning for more than 5 consecutive seasons. Every inning of every game. And the man who ended that streak was Ron Washington. Cal's dad was the manager. 8th inning of a game in Toronto. It was 18-3 Blue Jays. And he said, we're going to end this thing right here. And so Washington was told to go out to play short. And Cal argued with his dad. He says, Cal, it's for your own good. He says, well, 1 inning, it's not going to help me be that, it's not going to help my fatigue level. I said, no, you just get asked 1,000,000 times every game about playing every inning of every game. You won't have to be asked anymore. So Ron Washington has that little bit of history.
Well, he showed the hands right there. Played it into a backhand. Could have squared it up, but he played the backhand there.
He's already in position to make the throw to first. Washington, of course, was the manager of the Texas Rangers when the Giants played Texas in the World Series 2010. First time the Rangers had ever gone to the World Series.
Oh.
That almost hit him.
Well, I mean, Dickey's making Johnny work a little bit here with this 0-2 count.
Not too bad with the bat for a guy who's 42 years old. Hanging in there, still 0-2. Dickey has had 4 hits in 29 at bats, but has only struck out 8 times. That's not bad. What was your lifetime average?
Not very good. What's 1 for 11?
That's not bad.
It's not good. It's under 100.
That's 0.91.
That's quick math right there.
Back out of play. Still 0-2. I mean, it was almost a miracle whenever you had the bat, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think most of those at-bats actually came my very first year in the league.
0-2 the count, the shimmy, the pitch. Did he swing? Buster asks, yes. Paul Emmel brings him up from first base, the 4th strikeout for Cueto. So here comes the leadoff man, Ender Inciarte.
You look at Johnny right here, just shake and bake, a little shake and bake move. Dickey wanted to hold up, he couldn't, and most of the time when you're a pitcher taking that swing, besides maybe Madison Bumgarner or somebody, your umpire's quickly going to ring you up on that.
That's a little inside baseball. Pitcher check swing, you're out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's 0-1 to Inciarte, who has grounded out, and then he hit a double out into right center field that knocked in the first run of the game.
And he actually took a pitch. He's been swinging early and often. There's a changeup again.
They got Inciarte as well as Dansby Swanson and some others in the same trade that sent Shelby Miller to Arizona. And Inciarte has been an outstanding player for them.
He's already tied his career high in home runs, I believe, with the 6. He did it a few years ago in Arizona.
Nunez. As soon as he left his feet, I think there was no chance to throw out the speedy Inciarte. Infield hit. Although we've seen Nunez throw guys out from flat on his back before.
That's a tough play. He knows he has to get rid of it quickly. Take a look at it right here. Johnny executes the pitch. He just throws a bat at it. Moves to his left. He knows he needs to be quick. Try to get the quick transfer. It just wasn't going to happen this time, but that's what speed does to you. Look at Inciarte, gets out of the box, hustling down the line. But Johnny's been pitching really well. And he's been pitching Phillips in particular really well. Pounding him in with fastballs, setting up the stuff away.
1 ball, no strikes. Phillips has grounded out to short and lined out to third. He knocked in the winning run yesterday in the final inning of the game and ended the game the day before the same way. He's had the walk-off hit in consecutive Braves victories coming into this one. Cueto looking at Inciarte, who is almost looked like a bullfighter, not buying the fake.
It's like Johnny's trying to get some grip out there. It's a little humid for him. He's got the sleeves to keep the sweat off the hands.
This is a spot with 2 down where a steal would be a big play. But not many guys try to steal against Johnny Cueto.
No, to his credit, he's got a great move. He's not afraid to hold the ball.
Ciarte has 10 steals this year to lead the Braves in that category.
But the word's been out on around the league on Johnny Cueto that he can snap over there.
That's out of play off the first base side. 2 balls and a strike to Brandon Phillips. Cueto in these last 3 innings has thrown 40 pitches and 34 of them have been strikes. So he's in and around, but mostly in the strike zone, pitch after pitch after pitch. And that is fouled back into the second deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was one of the keys of the game that we were talking about, what Johnny needed to do. And one thing he does is has short-term memory. He didn't have that good outing against Kansas City. Gave up the 3 home runs, gave up 10 hits. But when Johnny's on, he's pounding the strike zone. He's protecting the changeup so he can go to it later in the contest. And he's really just been victimized by 2 extra base hits. Of the 4 hits that he's given up, 2 extra base hits.
And Ciarte, who got the 4th hit here with 2 down, and that was an infield hit. Giants outfield, the center fielder span shaded a bit toward right, and the left fielder Gorky Hernandez is well off the left field line, and Pence is very deep in right field.
Really deep.
You see Belt there on the bag at first with Ciarte, who's given no indication of taking off. Now Buster will go out and talk it over with Johnny Cueto. So do you think Cueto just has something in mind he wants to throw?
Well, I think the last time they got into this scenario, Brandon Phillips lined out the third, but they had thrown consecutive pitches in, and he chased him. He kept chasing in, so he's kind of probably thinking, we've shown him nothing but stuff away so far. Let's take a shot maybe at the hands in, and don't be afraid to even double up. We'll see. And they're smiling at each other. Again, they're former teammates, so they probably had these battles in spring training many a times.
Phillips was a Gold Glove second baseman playing behind Johnny Cueto with the Reds. Too high. Buster with a count of 3-2 now, and Ciarte will be off and running on this pitch. I'm really surprised that he has stayed at first this whole time with 2 down. Third time of the game that Johnny Cueto's gone to a 3-2 count, and again Buster's out to chat with him.
Again, your game plan, and Phillips knows what Johnny has. He's played defense behind him for an awful lot. So if you're John, you might go to your strength pitch right here, change up, down and away.
There goes Ciarte.
He went with the fastball. Mislocation, but he still has the changeup. He's not afraid to throw any pitch in any count.
Ciarte back to first. You see Belt off the bag now with a 3-2 count, playing behind him. 2-0 Atlanta in the last of the 5th inning. Markakis on deck. The runner goes and back to the screen again. 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's putting together a good at bat against Johnny.
And Johnny seems to be very reluctant to go back to that changeup here.
You're right.
This will be the 8th pitch of this battle between Cueto and his old teammate Brandon Phillips. Ciarte runs, and another fastball fouled off the right field side into the second deck. 3-2. Tomorrow, game 2 of the series, Matt Moore, the left-hander for the Giants, against Julio Teheran. And then Wednesday, Jeff Samardzija up against the ancient one, Bartolo Colon. And then Matt Cain on Thursday versus a rookie, a left-hander, Sean Newcomb. And the Giants will head home. There's Samardzija and Moore along with Dave Greshner, the trainer. So Cueto with the runner going. The throw from Nunez. And he's got a big target over there for the putout. One hit, one left. Quite a battle there between the old teammates. Top of the order coming up. Trust Park, the new home of the Atlanta Braves. Hunter Strickland's suspension began officially tonight, and he will not be eligible to return until the final game of the series Sunday with the Mets at AT&T Park. The suspension, which was passed down to him for the incident involving Strickland and the slugger from the Washington Nationals, Bryce Harper. Harper ended up serving a 3-game suspension. It was announced as a 4-game suspension, and they reduced it to 3. Here's R.A. Dickey. That's a called strike.
No catch.
Right on by Tyler Flowers. Span hit a double. Only time he's ever had a hit against Dickey. That was in the first inning. Then he struck out in the third. Dickey's had 5 strikeouts. Has not allowed a base runner since the second inning. Wow. Strike 2 call. The outfield pushed toward the left field side. The left fielder, Kemp, is rather shallow and well over toward the line. And it takes a few steps further toward the left field line as we're talking about it. Back to Dickey. One away. Well, this was at AT&T Park when the Nationals were in town. May the 29th. And the collision there, Samardzija and Morse, the 2 players involved in the incident, both suspended, but Michael Morse was the guy who ended up really being the victim. He ended up on the disabled list.
Yeah, and he's still out. And that's the unfortunate side of any sort of bench clearing brawl. A lot of it is collateral damage when you really think about it. There's a lot of big bodies bouncing into each other. And
Dickey also has that one. And Nunez is now 1 for 3. A couple of one-hoppers to the pitcher to start the inning. 2 down, and here is Brandon Crawford. And right now, Dickey's making it look easy.
He really is. He's not looking like a guy that had a 5 ERA coming into the game.
The Giants put 7 on the board against him in the first 3 innings back on May the 28th, the day before the Strickland-Harper incident. They scored 7 runs just in the first 3 in that game, and then he started looking like this afterward, after the first 3. And that's a foul, and it's a 1-1. I remember talking to some knuckleballers years ago, and it might have been Charlie Huff. He liked humidity. He thought that was conducive, and he liked a little bit of wind blowing into his face.
Also true with guys that throw big power curveballs. You like the wind going into your face a little bit.
I don't know if there's any wind. I don't see any flags to indicate whether there's any wind or not. But in fact, there I see some flags down, and they're just not blowing around at all.
Yeah, they're blowing straight down.
Some wind coming straight down. Very heavy.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. By Jack in the Box, come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. And by AAA. Get a free Giants welcome mat. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details.
SunTrust Park in Marietta, Georgia. The new home of the Atlanta Braves. 2-0. The Braves lead the Giants last of the 6th inning. I'm John Miller with Javier Lopez. Dwayne Kuiper will be back from the radio side in the 7th inning. Nick Markakis leads off and takes a called strike from Johnny Cueto. Markakis hit by a pitch his first time, lined out to center in the 3rd. Officially 0 for 1 in the game. 2 runs, 4 hits for Atlanta. No runs, 3 hits for the Giants. And no hits for the Giants since the 2nd inning against Dickey. Austin Slater was given the night off tonight, number 1, because Gorky Hernandez had some actual success in the past against Dickey. That ball's hit well, deep left center. He's got it. Well done by Gorky Hernandez in left center near the 385 marker.
Wow. That's why the Giants love him right there. His ability to run some balls down. 1-1 count, gets a fastball. Markakis drives it opposite field. Gorkys takes a peek, sees where the wall is, and then goes a little Spider-Man just for some sizzle. And that was a great play. And look at Johnny's reaction. He's whistling. He's giving the hat. Outs are outs. I don't care how you get them. And it's the reason they put up walls.
So here is Matt Kemp off the inside. Well, you would get a little Spider-Man action there, as you say, after we saw the freeze between innings.
The freeze with a redemption right there after losing this weekend.
Right field, Pence. And that is out number 2, Hunter Pence, who is so grateful to be out of Coors Field and that right field at Coors, which is just a nightmare. The freeze. I mean, he starts how many? 50 yards behind that guy?
Yeah, you get a quarter pole, I think. That guy blew a tire. Look at him. He's blew a tire. If he had a shoe deal, he lost it.
It is just amazing to see the lead that the other guy gets, and then how quickly the freeze just destroys him. 2-down, nobody on. Matt Adams, who homered his last time, and it was a long one to right field, right into the chop house out there. It's 0-2.
It's a nice pitch right there. Backdoor slider. Started it on basically in the batter's box, right-handed batter's box, and tried to just paint the outside corner. And Matt Adams reached for it, and looks like it spun a little something. Look at that. That's well executed pitch, and like he tweaked something in his right hand. And now you go down and in. It's a good idea. Yeah, this guy. This was. That's right. This was earlier, the freeze doing his work. That man was down, trying to pump up the crowd. Next thing you know, he's eating dirt.
Now he just couldn't believe that the freeze was right there.
No.
Man, I am so fast, and I'm going to beat the. Whoa! What's going on?
Oh, great pitch there too. 2-2 fastball in. Tied him up.
It's Matt Adams. When he was a rookie, the Giants saw him in the 2014 League Championship Series. And he was much bigger then. He's much trimmer now than he was then. And they gave him the nickname, the Babe, because he looked like the Babe himself. Now that ball is shot into right. Pence there. And that is the inning. 2-0 Atlanta, heading to the 7th. Buster Posey coming up, and Dwayne Kuiper to return from the radio side.
local Toyota dealers. And it's basically comes down to Johnny Cueto versus R.A. Dickey. Both of them had bad starts the last time out. You wouldn't notice it tonight. Both going 6. Johnny's just been victimized by 2 extra base hits of the 4 that he's given up. R.A. Dickey's, all the damage was done early in the game. He's retired 13 in a row, and Giants are looking to make a change here with the heart of the order coming up.
And it'll be Buster Posey to lead things off. Posey, Pence, and Panic against Dickey. And the first pitch to Buster Posey is down low. And Dickey's throwing the ball well, and I don't think he's throwing hardly any balls in the dirt like he did right there.
He's been effective.
And the pitch, and Posey almost got hit, and he did get hit. So a rally for the Giants. Time for our Togo's big play the Togo's way, and this was a big play. A pinch hit home run for Hunter Pence, the first ever for Hunter Pence. And yes, I will tell you, at that particular time, things were looking pretty good, but that did not end the game. So here's Pence. He's 0 for 2. Dickey will throw out of the stretch for the first time since the 2nd inning. I don't think it really matters a whole lot. And Pence with a healthy rip, and it's 0-1.
It's a second leadoff hitter for the Giants to reach. Better late than never when you can start creating traffic for the power coming up.
Low to Hunter Pence. As I mentioned before, you look at the pitch count for Dickey, and it really doesn't matter, doesn't indicate anything. Here's the 1-1 delivery. And kind of a swing. Maybe a check swing. It's 1-2. Knuckleballers can drive you nuts. So Dickey ahead in the count to Pence, and Pence lines it foul down the right field line and out of play.
The most he's thrown this year is 117 versus the Nationals. But you're right, he'll go anywhere from 67 pitches that he threw at the Mets to 117. So it's really how much the ball's dancing.
Pence pops this one up, and it's in front of us.
The broken glass sound effect never gets old, huh?
Never gets old. They play it every time?
Every time.
The pitch. Got him. Strikeout number 6. And here's Panic. Very frustrating for Hunter Pence.
It's just a knuckleball. There it is. A little bit of rotation on it, but just ties him up. But you'd rather have that than any other play. You know, if you're not going to smash one into the gap, swing through, give the next guy a chance.
And Panic fouls this one back and out of play. Lifetime now, Joe Panic against Dickey. 1 for 4. The one hit a triple. Giants should take that here. Dickey started to go but stepped off. Belt on deck. Giants' last hit came on the Belt's double in the 2nd. Dickey takes a peek at Posey. And the pitch. Panic hits a high fly ball to straightaway left for Kemp. 2 outs. And now you hope that Belt can run into one. He did run into one in the 2nd. Ended up with a double, but umpires determined that he came off the bag on the slide, which we didn't exactly agree with.
think he got robbed on that play, and they had the explanation saying that they really couldn't see anything and to overturn it. And
it's kind of like, oh well.
Yeah.
So see if Belt can do anything here. And he takes a pitch that runs inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Giants are 12 and 27 on the road. And that needs to improve, like a number of things. The pitch to Belt. Belt takes outside corner for a strike.
My goodness.
Belt knows the strike zone very well. He's not buying it.
He gets himself a 1-0 count. Wow. I mean, again, I don't want to be calling balls and strikes on a knuckleball, but that ball started away and stayed away.
So instead of 3-0, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Belt's hit against Dickey was his 2nd hit in 8 at-bats. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and Belt hits it sharply on the ground, and Phillips is going to dive, he's going to get up, he's going to throw, and that'll end the inning. Cueto comes back out. Flowers will lead things off. It stays 2-0. In Atlanta, it's a 2-0 lead. You can see not a lot of offense from either team in a ballpark that we were told was built for offense. You see the line for Johnny Cueto. 1 ball has left the park. That was a home run by Matt Adams. It'll be Flowers, Swanson, and Camargo to face Cueto here in the 7th. Cueto with 88 pitches. And the Giants ready throws, and this is a 1-hopper right back to Cueto. He will flip it to Belt. 1 pitch, 1 out. So here's Swanson. So as Javi mentioned, both pitchers have bounced back after their last start, where they were both unhappy with their last starts. Swanson is 0 for 2, a fly ball to right and a ground ball to short. Giants have 6 more outs left in this game. As Cueto taking a long look into Buster Posey. And a fastball for a called strike. The Braves with that first run came in the 3rd inning. A single and a double, and then the home run by Adams as Swanson takes another strike, and it's 0-2. Cueto is due to hit second in the 8th inning, so this will be his last inning. And this is a little flare into center field, and it's going to fall. So Swanson gets a 1-out single. And that'll bring up Camargo. Sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it.
You're right. 0-2 pitch, jammed him, put the ball inside. Swanson just kept the hands in and tried to keep as much barrel as you could get on it. I think it probably got more labeled than anything else.
I think you're right.
A hit's a hit. You'll take it.
Camargo singled off of Belt's glove in the 3rd, and then Cueto struck him out on a pitch that was in the dirt, maybe about 3 feet in front of home plate. There he takes a call strike. Cueto didn't know much about Camargo when he singled off the first pitch, but then he figured some things out in his next at bat. And Camargo's still looking for that soft stuff, and he's seen 2 fastballs.
Yeah, I mean, again, that pitch started away. The zone is not the scouting report that we had gotten earlier about De Jesus. He's opening it up. Maybe it's because it's a little bit later start.
Yeah, I think so. Hit slowly to Cueto, and that's 1. And no, not in time. Now the Braves are going to ask Swanson to stay at second because they're going to take a look at it.
Johnny looked like when he made a great play, threw it on the run, and he almost played it off Onora's back. Like he ran and put Onora in the line of fire. Okay, so you see Onora duck out of the way. Crawford keeps his toe in the bag. It's a good call.
And now the Giants are taking a look at the other end. And I don't believe that they're going to challenge that, and they don't. So basically you're saying if Cueto wanted a free shot at Onora, he had it?
It's what it looked like for a moment. You got to give Onora credit. He was able to dance a little bit there, doing the salsa, got out of the way.
Ruiz is going to hit. I think the Giants are absolutely thrilled that Ari Dickey is out of the game. Coming in to pitch the 8th and the 9th, Drysdale and Koufax. Good. So here's Ruiz. And the pitch, and Ruiz hits a high fly ball foul down the left field line and out of play.
7 innings, 3 hits.
You look right there, Cueto
6 strikeouts, 1 hit.
not making it easy for Craw.
7 innings, 3 hits.
But Crawford made a nice adjustment. Belt gave it all he could, stretching, trying to use all the 13 inches of that glove, just couldn't do it.
64 strikes, total 86.
So Vizcaíno is in the bullpen. Foul back again. It's 0-2. So 97 pitches now for Johnny Cueto. Ruiz, a 184 hitter, a couple of home runs, 9 driven in. The Giants saw Ruiz quite a bit in that series in San Francisco. Camargo with his lead, he does not go, and that pitch is high to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marquez Hernandez is scheduled to lead off the 8th, and then Cueto, and then Span, but it could be that Bruce Bochy will go to his bench very early in the 8th. It's 1-2 to Ruiz. Hit on the ground to Panic. Panic down to a knee, and that's going to end the inning. So Cueto allows the single. That's it. Hernandez, pinch hitter, Span coming up. Schedule, you get great giveaways such as Summer of Love and Game of Thrones night, and of course the long-standing fan favorite Pixar Day. Remember, you need the special ticket to purchase, and you can do that by going sfgiants.com/special events for more information. 2-0 when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. It's Arodys Vizcaíno.
He's taking the mound for the Braves for the 31st time this year, and you can look at the numbers. They've been pretty good. 33 punch-outs in 28 innings. He's going to bring a lot of velocity. You're going to see fastballs in the upper 90s, 97 and 99, and he's got a curveball as well, but it's a lot of velocity coming out of this guy.
Pretty much just the opposite of what they've seen all night. Tomlinson, the pinch hitter. And he lines this one into right field, a base hit. And he lined it right over Adams. That 98-mile-an-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So Tomlinson, now Slater. Osich in the bullpen. Span on deck, and then Nunez. First hit for the Giants since the second inning. Here's Slater, who had a good series in Colorado, and then he had an 0-for-4 day yesterday. And the pitch. There's a fastball for a called strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. See his numbers. He's been impressive since he joined the Giants from Sacramento. Had the long home run in Milwaukee. And does seem to go the other way very well. 0-2.
There's a curveball right there. It seems like it acts more like a slider than anything else. But
very quick.
That is the breaking ball. 0-1. Yeah. Not much downward tilt, just a little bit of a sidewinder.
It's a good look at Slater. He's behind in the count 0-2, and they got him. So 1 out here in the 8th. And that'll bring up Span. Span double in the first. Struck out and rolled back to the pitcher.
7 innings, 5 hits, including a home run, 2 runs, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 home
So
run.
Span facing Vizcaino
4 strikeouts, 1
with
hit
Tomlinson aboard at first. And Span offers at the first pitch and shoots it foul.
44 balls, 75 strikes, total of 99.
Span has only faced Vizcaino once in his career. He's 0 for 1. And he looks into Flowers. No balls and a strike. A couple of guys have done pretty good against Vizcaino. Belt is 2 for 3. Pence is 2 for 2 with a home run. Tomlinson back easily. So nice night for Johnny Cueto.
He did exactly what the Giants were looking for. Attack the strike zone, keep his team in it. Another quality start for the Giants. Did a great job.
Lot of play.
And there's the net you were talking about.
The one over the dugout.
Over the dugout, saving some fans. That was coming in hot.
I believe once one team does it, other teams will follow suit. Span now behind in the count, 0-2. It's kind of taken a long time. Span waiting patiently. Out of play.
Oh, nice snag by the fan down there. Check that play right there. Look at that. Through the defender's hands. Caught it. A la Julio Jones.
Well, he's with a Giants fan, of course.
There you go.
Easy. 0-2. Span in a battle with Vizcaino. And he got him. Thought maybe Flowers didn't hang on. If Span had tipped it, 2 down.
Look at it right here. The slider down. Well executed pitch. Put the hitter on the defensive. And like you mentioned, you've been staring at 70 miles an hour most of the night. You got to protect against 98. He's going to get you out on that front foot.
See what Nunez does. He's 1 for 3. Nunez singled in the first inning. He will get after that first fastball if he likes it. Pops it up. And it was not a fastball. And that'll end the inning. Giants waste a leadoff single. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It remains 2-0. Same time, 4:30. Hour-long pregame live will start at 3:30, and it'll be the Giants and the Braves. Season Giants are available to stream live on the NBC Sports app. And also, if you want to check out Alex Pavlovich, go to NBCSportsBayArea.com. It's a 2-0 lead for the Braves. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts.
And taking the mound for the Giants is Josh Osich, making his 20th appearance of the year. He's averaging a strikeout an inning. He's really nasty when he's throwing strikes, pounding the zone. He's got a good fastball, going to be mid-90s, and a curveball and a changeup coming off of that for most of his outs.
Slater stays in the game. He's in left. Inciarte's got a couple of hits. He's got an RBI. He doubled in the first run of the game in the third. Good pitch as he throws it by Inciarte at 97. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants want to keep it at 2. And they'll have Crawford, Posey, Pence, Panic, and Belt coming up in the top of the 9th. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Ender Inciarte. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. So Cueto goes 7. Apparently his blister issues are a thing of the past. The pitch. 3-1. Cueto no walks. 4 strikeouts. Hit a batter, hit Markakis in the first. Osich got to come in. He doesn't want to walk the leadoff hitter. 3-2. Looked like Inciarte was taken all the way. So he threw it in the same spot.
The Giants got Derek Law warming up just in case, but it is a left-right-left situation for Osich if he can get this first out.
Inciarte just pokes at it to stay alive.
And the Braves are obviously warming up Jim Johnson, getting him ready for the top of the 9th.
Jim Johnson. 3-2. And the walk. Osich issues the walk, and here's Phillips. The Braves have, you know, the lineup where you go left, right, left, right, left, right. So it's kind of hard to mix and match. So with that in mind, and Markakis, a left-handed hitter on deck, it'll be Osich against Phillips.
And you see by the splits, Osich has better numbers against righties. Or pretty comparable, I should say, as far as opponent batting average. So Boch is comfortable with this matchup, and he's got a great changeup that he likes to use against these right-handers, along with the curveball that he's been throwing really well his last month or so.
Let's see what Osich does against the right-handed hitting Brandon Phillips. Line drive. Nunez knocks it down. He'll have a play at second, and that'll be a force play. And Phillips wasn't running. It would have been a good throw by Nunez to Panic. They'd have had a double play.
And it's like he almost threw Joe a cutter right there. That's a funky play. You see the line drive, puts glove on it, and then grabs and quickly flips it, and just started sailing on him. And Joe, I think, was kind of surprised he caught it. Got the Phillips right there. Thought he was out. Quickly hustled down the line, and still Osich is 1 pitch away here.
Markakis 0 for 2. And he lifts this one high and foul down the left field line and out of play. It's the old playground trick, right? Line drive, drop it on purpose. When you don't have any umpires, you just kind of have Nice little battle with friends in the neighborhood. And then you realize that once you start playing with umpire, you can't do it.
You can't do it, but outs are outs. You know, make somebody let the umpire make that decision for you sometimes.
And another pop up, and another one out of play. It's 0-2. The other great playground trick is throwing your glove at it. Or you see the line drive, it's going to be over your head, you just flip your glove in the air.
As a guy who shagged an awful lot of batting practice in his life, the glove toss is very underrated.
Yeah, I think it should be perfectly legal. If you do it as a kid, you get good at it. And the 0-2 is hit over the mound. Panic will make a nice play. Not an easy play. A nice play. 2 down. And Phillips goes to second.
He got the ground ball he was looking for. It was just perfectly placed. Now it's decision time for Boj. You do have a base open. You have Adams on deck. But again, I think he likes what Osich can do with right-handers, and I would imagine he's just going to stick with him here. Buster's just talking about what signs they want to use at second. He's got 2 outs.
So Kemp's going to take the walk. The option was there. And here's Adams. Adams has hit the ball hard twice. One left the park, and the other one ended up in the glove of Hunter Pence. So Phillips at second, Kemp at first. And Buster Posey knocks it down. 1 ball and no strikes. Osich trying to get through this inning with a leadoff walk.
Yeah, and it's a good play here. Matt Adams is hitting .238 against lefties as opposed to .314 for righties. So again, Osich has the stuff to get all these guys out, and Boj is just playing the numbers.
Trying to keep it at a 2-run deficit. 2-0. Here's the home run that Adams hit in the 4th.
Just a pulled changeup, trying to locate it down and away, and Johnny knew he made a mistake on location, and Adams made him pay. One of just 2 extra base hits that Johnny gave up tonight.
And a long look to second in the pitch, and there's a bouncing ball into right field, a base hit. Here comes Phillips. Throw's going to go to third. Everybody's safe. It's 3-0. And the leadoff walk comes back to haunt. And now Bruce Bochy's going to come out and make the switch.
It was in a hitter's count. Matt Adams got, it was a 2-0 fastball, just got the pitch. Osich got the ground ball, just found its way into right field.
Seems to be a spot between Belt and Panic that hitters have found a lot. It's 3-0. Law coming in. Osich started out the inning with a leadoff walk. Things unravel a little bit. And the new pitcher is Derek Law.
Derek Law is coming in for the 31st time this year. ERA is a little high than he'd like it to be, but he's just had some tough luck the last few outings. But the guy can pitch. He's got the velocity. You're going to see a lot of fastballs right around 94. Then you're going to see a lot of sliders and changeups, or sliders and curves, I should say. Those are the two pitches that he mainly gets people out with. But you're going to see a fastball 50% of the time. The slider is a hard biting slider. It's about 82, 83. And then the curveball just slows him down just enough. It's about 76 to 78.
So Tyler Flowers will face Law. Runners at second and third. And there's an off-speed pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1. Some of these younger guys out of the bullpen, what they need now is just a good case of some confidence. And for Law, a good spot to gain some confidence here. There's a fastball high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Coors Field will do that to you. Anytime you're struggling, you're really trying to get outs on the mound any way you can get them, and sometimes you force it too much.
Out of play, 1-2.
It all comes down to just executing pitches, taking a deep breath, slowing the heart rate down, and that's a tough thing to do when you have to almost play a perfect ball game to win it.
Yeah, plus, it's look at the guys coming out of the bullpen; they have no margin for error. Flowers behind in the count, 1-2. That's ball high, 2-2. Flowers hitless in 3 at bats. And then with a pretty lofty 333 batting average. The whole choke up the bat thing is working for him. Blocked. 3-2. At third, Kemp. At second, Adams.
This is a spot he doesn't have to come in. He has first base open. You never want to be pitching for a walk or anything like that, but you can throw a chase pitch here.
He's got another right-handed hitter on deck, and that is high, and everybody started to leave.
There's a slider up in the zone. It's a pitch we've seen called tonight, so I can't say that that's an all right ball, but
well, you don't see Buster depart too many times.
Not very often.
So that's kind of the indicator for us. Swanson blooped a single into right field in the 7th. Rolls this one foul.
You would think that might be the only fastball Swanson's going to see. Now that Law's ahead in the count. He's got good breaking stuff. Dansby struggles with the breaking ball. Well, we'll see what he chooses to do here.
Oh, 0-1 to Swanson. And the next pitch is wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases are loaded here in the 8th. Not close. 2-1. The only hit in the inning was the hit by Adams. There's been 3 walks, 1 intentional. We always talk about the Giants, so important it is for them to get add-on runs, and the Braves get one here in the 8th. 2-2 on the line drive foul. On the right field line and out of play. So now Derek Law is in a spot 2-2 where he can throw one more pitch. It doesn't have to be a strike.
Swanson will chase. He expands with breaking balls off the plate, even fastballs off the plate. He'll expand away.
Well, now it's full count. Three and two. Runners will be on the move. Hit to right field. 2 runs are going to score. Swanson comes through, and it's now 5-0. Add-on runs, and the Braves get 3 of them here in the 8th inning.
Boy, worked him to a full count, got him into a fastball count, got it down and away, but Swanson's looking for one pitch or one zone. Got it. And drove the ball the other way, and there's not much Hunter is going to be able to do from that spot. And the add-on runs have, I think, set Jim Johnson down, and I think they might get somebody else going. I don't see if there's enough time to do that.
Here's Camargo.
I think they're going to try to heat up Luke Jackson real fast if he can do it. Johnson's at the ready in case he can't get ready in time because there are 2 outs.
I think we're back to that, wondering if Johnson wanted his teammates to score more runs or not. There's a shot and a base hit. So coming in to score is Flowers, and a base hit for Camargo, and it's now 6-0. And it looks like it's going to be Bonifacio. I beg your pardon, it's Santana. So Santana to hit. And Bruce Bochy's going to let Derek Law try to get out of this mess on his own. Here's the pitch, and it's high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Line on this guy, you know, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts.
With this is Osich, who had some nice numbers coming into the game, ends up with 3 earned runs given up.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good line score. He threw the ball better than that.
He did.
He deserved better than that, but again, wins are hard to come by when you're struggling, and sometimes outs are as well.
There it is. It's empty. Santana hitting .225. And he fouls this one into the glove of Buster Posey. 2 balls and 1 strike. Going off speed in a fastball count. A 4-run 8th inning. Score went from 2-0 to 6-0. This is roll the belt. It'll be foul. It's 2-2. 17 pitches now for Derek Law. Derek Law came in. A walk and a pair of singles.
2 walks, 1 intentional.
And look, relievers hate giving up runs to their teammates. Here's the 2-2. In the dirt, 3-2. A lot on the shoulders of Derek Law, especially given the suspension to Hunter Strickland.
You're right, and then when you're coming out of a series in Coors Field where you have to go 4 games, you got to cover a lot of innings out there.
This is hit high and deep to right. And this one's not coming back. It is way gone. So that opens everything up. I suppose he's going to try to calm down Derek Law. It's
2-2 breaking ball. Look at that curveball, hung it. Law knew it. It's a short porch down the right field line. Santana knew it. It's an unfortunate result, especially when Johnny was throwing the ball so well, keeping your club in it.
So Inciarte, who opened up the inning with a walk off of Osich, will now hit for the second time. And the pitch is down low.
And all this damage has been done with 2 outs. They just.
For the Braves, that is the first pinch hit home run of 2017. Again, first pinch hit home run for the Braves of 2017.
And that's rolled foul. One ball and one strike. Osich started. Derek Law trying to finish it. Here's a swing and a miss. 1-2. And the pitch is a bit wide. 2-2. Osich came in with an ERA just a shade over 3. Law came in with an ERA at 4.20, and it's 3-2.
Law's blowing on his hand. When it's humid out there, it's tough to get a grip. I think he's trying to find the right grip now.
This is lined up the middle for a base hit. And with 2 outs and a runner on, Dave Urgetty's going to come out. It's the half inning that'll never end.
I think the Giants are finally getting somebody loose. It's Brian Morris getting hot down there. And hey, I mean, I've been in this situation. It's not a fun spot to be. Yeah. And again, when you play 4 games in Colorado, to come into a place with no humidity and altitude to a place that's full of humidity, and it's an adjustment. It's not an excuse. It's just an adjustment. And you see a lot of frustration. You got a pinch runner.
Pinch running at first base for the Braves is 16, Lane Adams.
So Adams is going to run. So here's Phillips. Phillips with a base hit down the right field line. Adams is on the move, and they're going to hold Adams. Phillips will go into second with a double. Bruce Bochy's going to try to save Derek Law from any more punishment here in the 8th inning. He gave him an opportunity to walk off the field to get the 3rd out, and now it's going to be Morse who's going to try to get that 3rd out. It's 9-0. walked away for a little while. It was 2-0. Decided to get some ice cream out of their fridge. And then had it and then went back and got some more. Now it's 9-0 as you see Brian Moore's coming in to get that last out.
Yeah, Brian Moore's coming on for the 19th time. The guy's got great stuff. I think they're still trying to find a role for him, but again, with Strickland out, I think all these guys are going to get a little extra work. And he comes in, and the lefties are actually hitting pretty well off him. But he's got the stuff to get a lot of people out. You're going to see a mid-90s fastball breaking balls. It's really special when he's locked in, and he's just looking to get the Giants back in the dugout.
Markakis made one of the outs in this inning. And the pitch to Markakis, and it's high. You saw the shot of Derek Law in the dugout, and anybody that's ever played the game at this level, that's it. You're going to have a moment or two like that. It's not easy.
Definitely not. The game humbles you. It always keeps you humble. And again, I've been there. I've been in these situations. Many pitchers have, and it's nothing you can really say to the guy that's going to make him feel any better. Nothing you can do, and that's a catch.
Yeah, nice play. Probably saved somebody down that left field line. If you're a hitter, you go through it. If you're a pitcher, you go through it. It's just you do. And there's these moments where you think, you know what, I'm never going to get anybody out, or I'm never going to get a hit.
And that's, as a teammate, you got to be there to lift each other up. That's all you can do.
This is hit up the middle. Panic will throw off balance to Belt, and Belt saves the day, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing comes easy when you're trying to win a game.
Following Giants baseball for Esurance Giants Post-Game Live. Highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up for a full hour right after the game.
Here it's 9-0. We do have some changes for you, but first it's when it's time for a change thing. Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up in brake experts.
And taking the hill for the Braves, it's Luke Jackson. It's coming on, make his 15th appearance. He's not really getting a whole lot of regular work, but you're going to see a four-seam fastball, 95 and 97. You're going to get a slider, upper 80s, and a curveball, 83. Those are basically the pitches that you're going to see out of this guy.
And he's going to throw to Crawford, and Crawford takes down low. Crawford looking for a hit. He's 0 for 3. Posey's on deck. He's 0 for 2. Crawford hits a high fly ball to left. It's in the park to Santana, who's into the game, and that's out number 1. So here's Buster. Buster got hit by R.A. Dickey in the 7th. With the 2 at bats where he went hitless, Buster's average goes down to 349. So drops 3 points. And this is wrapped to left, but it's right at Santana. 2 down. A hit there would have made Buster's night a little better, but it didn't happen. So here's Pence. In games like this, you look for small victories, even if they're individual.
Yeah, well,
you do.
He was in the squat for a long time that last half inning, and
so you're saying otherwise probably would have hit it out.
well, like you were saying, you try to find some silver linings.
Small victories. Here's Hunter Pence, and Hunter Pence chases the first pitch, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Tight game until the bottom of the 8th. Pence takes down low. 4 hits for the Giants. R.A. Dickey was really good. Rolled foul. You see a guy like R.A. Dickey, and you still think you're young enough to throw a baseball. You start to think, well, I want to throw a knuckleball. One and 2.
He pitched great tonight.
Down low, 2 and 2. I just think it would be so odd being a knuckleballer where you just don't know what kind of night you're going to have. Have I got it? Well, yeah, if I don't. Popped up to Swanson, and Swanson will wait for it. And that's the ball game. So the Giants kept it close. And then the big bottom of the 8th. But the bottom line is they couldn't do much against R.A. Dickey, and they get shut out.
R.A. again, he hadn't been throwing the ball very well, but the knuckleball was dancing, and it was enough for him to execute a great game plan. 3 hits, 7 innings, punched out 6, didn't walk 1 guy. And really, after that first inning, he kind of just settled in, and he was able to get through this ball game. And unfortunate for the Giants bullpen, but again, I've been there personally, so I'm always going to give them the benefit of the